Mr. Rizzo, I want to probe your comments about the link between the cost of living crisis and the unemployment crisis. You were talking earlier about how effectively, as the cost of living has gone through the roof, what constitutes a living wage, that is what your employees need in order to live in a city with incredibly expensive housing, in order to cover basic expenses, becomes a lot higher. So in other jurisdictions, workers that are making less money in a sort of nominal level, but are better off because of a lower cost of living, that becomes a much more competitive jurisdiction to invest in relative to Canada. And I think it's an important point because we've been talking about both of these crises, the cost of living crisis and the unemployment crisis, and you're highlighting the relationship between the two. I wonder if you could share a bit more about how the cost of living crisis impacts business investment, the ability to create more jobs, et cetera.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's just every day. Our annual reviews come every December. We're very committed and loyal to our staff. Most of our employment is probably the tenure of like 25 years on average at our company. We have long-term committed employees, but it breaks, it's really hard for me. Like every year I want to give back to the employees. We want to try to compensate them. And, the conversations are just constantly the same. How expensive it is to live in Toronto, how expensive it is to live in Canada, and to a point where good people that have been with me for 10, 15 years have started to identify that, can they move to one of our U.S. facilities, or could they transfer? And the reason they're doing that is they want to start a family, they want to have home ownership. It's just not feasible in Canada for most of the youth. So all these things are really big systemic problems. To put it in perspective, a facility in Georgia where we make components, the average person makes $16.50 to $17 US an hour, and a house price is $40,000 to $50,000, right? So to the employer, they can attract a lot of people, and at this lower wages, those people can still live and acquire and do quite well. But in Canada, when most of your money is going to mortgage debt and living expenses and insurance and all the items I talked about before, the youth of today have no money left over to dream about that next step in their lives.